So now that I've tried the 5 brand new leaders for set 5 new adventure for Fusion World, it is time to do my tier list for the game and where things are currently standing. Honestly, I'm probably still not ready in order to accurately rank these because I haven't even tried out the older leaders, because this set has added some major support for some of the older leaders, which is really good. But if I do that, we're going to wait to the very end of the set's lifespan in order to get this video. So we're just going to go into it now. Hopefully, I can get most of it correct or somewhat near where they should be. But anyway, we've got a lot of leaders to go through. So sit back and enjoy. Leave a like on today's video, subscribe, all that good stuff, and then comment down your opinions down below. So we're going to just rank them color by color. Starting off with androids here. They are still just a super great green leader. If they see the correct ramp, they actually just go on a mayhem. A lot of energy. A lot of things that you can do to recover their hand size. I'm honestly putting them in Z still. They just got so many tools, and they didn't even really get anything for this set. It's just that the previous sets have been so good to them that they just still stand there. They can run the new 7-cost Goku as well to get people off guard for 3 energy. To play it out still, it's just super good. Then we got Goku here. I think he is in a tier lower than the androids. I would say there are some pretty bad matchups for this guy, such as Yellow. He's more reliant on the 7-cost Goku, and if you can lock down the Goku, means that he has to play another 7 energy to play another double strike. That's their big body. But I haven't seen any deck lists really trying to utilize like any 8 cost or higher, because then it loses the healing ability. But if you don't have to deal with that, this guy can actually be super aggressive, and being able to pressure while also taking life to set off Awaken as quick as possible is really, really good. And then, of course, the 30k swing. Then we got Piccolo in here. Piccolo is still very much useful. He's still a little bit slow on the ramp, but I understand, because once he gets to 8, he actually does cook a lot. It's just a lot of work to get there. I think, though, if with some more experimentation and some correct lines, you can push him up a little bit higher. I just haven't seen it yet. So I'll be putting him in C, but I think there's going to be a lot of healing abilities that you need to use in order to keep this guy going. And I think he has to be playing around the 2 health mark. It's great because obviously there's some extras and stuff like that that require 2 life, and just juggling around there. But I think it's just a bit too risky since obviously he doesn't have the inbuilt heal. He has to rely on battle cards to heal. I think, though, what's probably the least useful right now is probably the Gohan. I'll put him in D just to show hierarchy. He's not really a D. I'd say you could put him in C, right? Because he's still green at the end of the day, but somebody's got to go in D, all right? And I only just say that because realistically, he didn't get anything too crazy. The 35 on Protect for 1 hit is pretty good, and as well as being aggressive, but he just really didn't get much support. And I probably would say the D tier is like, why would you use him? You know, why would you use him when you have other great green leaders? I think Broly's a way better character to be using if you want like an OG leader feel. They run almost the exact same deck anyway. But I like Broly because he's a 25k body. You can play around with that 2 life more freely because he's that 25k body, and he's got inbuilt ramp, so it makes it easier to get it to 8 quicker. So it would be very interesting where he actually goes. I think around B and A, but I'm not too entirely sure until the tier list is fully played around with. And then I'll put Cell in the same B tier for the time being. Again, we might have to figure out what this B and A situation is. Oh, I forgot there's even a worse leader, and that's Vegeta. I'll put Gohan up a tier, C, and then we'll go D for Vegeta here. He didn't get any love for this set, sadly, so he's still playing around the 3-cost stuff. You've got some massive blockage from blue now. All your characters can really be wiped by red. You can catch people off guard still, but it's just not it. It's definitely not it. So moving on to the next color, we have black. I honestly don't think there's any black that deserves to be in Z, but I think the best black deck has to be Baby. It still gets super value. I think still the Possessed package, the Machine Mutant package, is just really good. Them going for more value now. They got extra tools with the Bulma that can rest down, draw one, and then you can use it as a combo. It's a self-awakener as well. And of course, 2-cost Trunks is just still very, very good. It still relies on having 2-cost Trunks. That's the gas. And when they run out of that, they're going to lose gas after that. So you definitely need to be finding those as soon as possible. And that's probably the biggest weakness for this deck. I wouldn't put it in Z because of that. Then we have Bardock. God damn, this man just really, really, really got shafted, hey. I don't think any black deck is like horrid. He's still usable. I'll put him in B. He's still usable. He's like really average though. He's like, why use him at this point? All the other leaders are just better. Every black deck runs similar cards anyway. The only reason why he would ever be higher in certain situations is that if there is a very, very popular 25k body leader, and realistically, there isn't any. Goku is in A. I think very, very good. If you're playing the longer game to utilize his leader ability, it is very potent. Very, very potent. It might be somewhat of an issue because we're running into a faster meta, but against certain blue decks where you are going a little bit slower, it's actually really good. You actually can use his ability multiple times. I think that's the hardest part. It's just like, do you really want to use the leader ability so early and let the energy marker go to waste when you could use it next turn or something like that? But people are leaning in more towards the pan buff into the double strike Goku. A 4-cost double strike is very scary for sometimes, especially if your opponent is not ready for that. Then we have Gogeta, which is also A. I think Gogeta has the higher potential to be better. Being able to create the energy marker for certain effects is still very, very good. And having an access to a very good searcher being Pycon for those really nasty extras can be very, very clutch. Ultimate Sparking is a great card that is frequently used in the Gogeta deck because you always have that energy marker active, which can save you from lethal strikes from blue, yellow, for example, and even green. So it's got some really good utility-wise. I'd say the boss card being Super Saiyan 3 Goku is probably its biggest letdown. It has no board clear, and it's just a double swing. Although you get a lot of draw power. If you want to restand, you have to discard one. Especially at the 5 energy mark, sometimes you want to just get the board clear. And then you have to rely on Soul Punisher. So maybe if next set we have like a 5-cost Secret Rare Gogeta or 6-cost Secret Rare Gogeta that can KO a card on appearance, on play, then that would be a lot more helpful for the deck than anything else, than the 5-cost Goku. But that's my black rankings so far. Moving on to red. So many leaders for red. Oh my god. This is definitely going to be the hardest with so many here. Beerus is still Beerus. He'll go to A though. I think we're getting to the point where not being able to draw with Beerus on the critical front side is actually getting to him. He's a very good counter pick, I will say, depending on the meta. Last set, because Angel Coup was everywhere, it was an easy board wipe because they were playing so much. But now that we're seeing like Goku playing a 45k for 3 costs so easily, Black being able to play the 4 costs pretty early as well, Androids being Androids, able to switch strategies and play bigger bodies, it's harder to counter play when everybody's getting so tall now. Diamond Goku, I am going to be putting into the S. You're playing that long game, essentially, with this Goku, where you're running Tournament of Power, getting as many 6-cost Gokus out as much as possible, and just board wiping through that. You're just Jiren, but you don't have to go to 3, and can do a little bit of board wipe on the way there as well. Speaking of Jiren, I think we just put Jiren in A. He can actually be a massive block to a lot of the higher tier decks. He's again like a counter pick. If we see a lot of yellows, we're probably seeing him up higher. He's a 25k body. You utilize the slow play with Tournament of Power. It's still very, very good. He's not as good anymore just because of the fact that we are now... Yellow does have an answer to get rid of the 4-cost Jiren, and that is the 4-cost Secret Rare Frieza. It's a bit unfortunate. I still think he's a very good deck. It's just red. General red. Playing the 6-cost MUI. Being able to protect a hit. It's still very, very good. UI Goku is probably just the worst version of Jiren. Again, same strategy. You might get the bigger swing, but not being able to draw as well kind of sucks. I think you can have fun with him though. That's why I don't think he's not entirely the worst. Blue Goku's a really aggressive deck. I think you're just always punching into face if you can. Especially with the TN. I'm going to put him in A because I just see the potential with him. You just need the cards in your hand in order to do that kind of pressure. He's like the modern day version of Top Coup. Speaking of Top Gear, it's probably not even worth using. Was there any new tournament power cards released? Not really. You're just still relying on literally the one Kefla in your deck. And having to rush Awaken down to 3 is harder when you don't have a 1-cost Self-Awakener. SSJ Goku, he's generic, but he's not bad. He's just not. He's not entirely bad. Red just has some really good pieces, so. Then the final leader for Red that we have is Super Saiyan Daima Goku. I guess depending on how you are as a player, you can make this an S and then put Daima Goku into A, or vice versa. You put Daima Super Saiyan Goku in A. I'll just put it like this for now, both an S. I think it's really, he's a glass cannon at the end of the day, but he can get some serious numbers very early. And so against Rush Awakeners, it's actually, you actually get some really good stuff going. More Stally decks, you're going to have a little bit of an issue. So I'll put it in A. If you're versing Rush Awakeners, you are literally having a blast. If they awaken while you can play Glorio at this next turn, you're having a blast, right? Because you get so much value knowing that they have to waste a super combo +1. If they don't have anything frustrating to deal with at the 4 energy mark and you play Glorio for free without having to worry about the board, you're having a blast. But for those longer games and those fights where they do have a board filled up, it's hard to just justify playing Glorio at 4. I'd rather play some board clear and a 2-cost with It's Over or something like that. But in order to play It's Over, we need to awaken at 4. So, and then that's when we start wasting our cards and we have a lot of zeros. I think for now, I will keep it like this, but there is potential for him to be in S. I think I do like Daima Goku though. Then we have Daima Vegeta, putting in a D. Although he does have the blue package. Again, there's just no reason to use him. No point. Realistically, he's more like a C leader. But again, I'm just going to put him in D because there's literally no point in running him. Then I'm going to put Trunks in C. Again, I think it's just the leader ability is just pretty much useless. Bouncing a 3-cost is not that entirely special. A lot of the good 3 costs anyway have on-play effects, which you don't really want to utilize. It's more so just bouncing back your own stuff and reapplying a on-play ability, but that's so much energy usage. Until we get some more solid, lower your enemy's battle cards cost cards, I don't think Trunks is going to be played as much. The only real good one we have is the 3-cost Vegito, but we already see it outdated already in other blue decks. Vegeta is probably a tier higher. I mean, he really got replaced with the brand new Vegito. There is some merit to running him if you don't have Vegito, though. But at the end of the day, Vegito will always just trump. So I'm just going to put it in B. Rose. I haven't tried out Rose with the new Self-Awakener. But of course, it is just that high roll king. Awakening as fast as possible. Getting the Goku Black. Not much decks can deal with 6-cost Goku Black that quickly. So if your opponent makes one mistake and gets you to play that, then it's GG's. If the opponent knows what they're doing, you're going to have a really tough time just getting out the 6-cost Goku Black as early as possible. Gohan, oh, man, really nothing. He's really doo-doo. But the only thing that is awesome about him is that he can play the 6-cost Vegito the quickest out of all of the decks, technically. But there is a lot of setup, and there was just no extra that was added in this set that was helpful. The 3-cost Goku doesn't even work properly because it has to be the original 3-cost and not the reduced 3-cost. So you can't use the leader ability and reduce the 5-cost extras cost by 3. Play Goku out, play the extra for free. It just doesn't work like that. And that's just sad. So literally it's the same deck from the previous set. And it's just, and it wasn't even that good anyway. Yeah, and it's even gotten worse since now things have gotten a little bit faster. Now we enter the top 3 blue decks here. Angel Coup is a phenomenon. It's still in Z. It just gets so much value. And it's also really good against yellow, which has really been stomping the fields around. And so this is a really great leader and deck build for this current set meta. It goes fast enough into androids to apply a decent amount of pressure. And it can still get a lot of value, even going slow. And so I really like that about Angel Coup. Honestly, just probably in Z. Yes, there's more cards that blow up the field, but it can definitely just come back out of nowhere if it's managed right. And then we got Vegito here. the big 40k swings. You're playing it like Merge the Masu. I've had some tough times with this guy against yellow because Boo just keeps milling my hand. And not being able to draw when awakening can be super annoying. And I've felt that before. I'm going to put him in S. He's super close. I think he has some really good matchups. He's a little bit slower, so it means Android's matchups is a lot harder still. Angel Crew can be a 50-50 as well. Just depends if you find your pieces that can get rid of Videl, the one costs and whatnot. And the Boo matchups, if they know how to get you from 4 to 0 in one turn, you're going to have a hard time, a really hard time. And then Mojamasu, probably, yeah, it's probably one of the better 25k bodies. I'll put him in S. The lower, I mean, he plays identically to Vegito, except you don't worry about your drop size. You have a bad matchup against green androids, but yeah, overall, you have solid matchups against everywhere else. And then the 25k body can be annoying. All right, and now on to yellow here. The final color here. Probably the most popular color now. Starting it off with Cooler. Honestly, I have to revisit Cooler at some point. I don't think he's a terrible leader at all now. I'm going to put him in C. He's definitely... I could definitely see him get used more than some of these ones below him. Frieza's very solid. I'm not sure about how crazy good the Frieza King Cole combo is yet. It's a lot of cards out of your hand. But I'll put him in A. Because the restand's still very, very good. The Secret Egg Frieza carries a lot. Ginyu. I haven't tried out Ginyu with the new support buffs, but I'm just going to put him in B. If they're not ready and they don't have any way of clearing the board, you can go for that one-turn kill so easily. So easily. Bootanks is probably Z tier. It is got some amazing matchups. It beats a lot of these decks. It just has a hard time versus Angel Crew because he can just get the cards that they discarded back with one extra. It goes fast enough into androids. It beats a lot of these decks, and it's just super strong. It's super strong right now since it doesn't have to worry about Jiren anymore. Jiren was literally the wall, and now that nobody really plays Jiren, it just shoots up. It just really shoots up. Boo's an interesting one. I don't see a reason to use it, though, over many other yellow leaders, so I'll put it in C. It's not useless, though, so keep it in C. Vegeta's really good. I probably rank it higher than Frieza. I'll probably put it in S. It's got some more defensive pieces. You still utilize the 4-cost Frieza. You're playing a longer game, which is fine. Utilizing a lot of the barrier cards to just keep a board pressure on. And then holding, 8 super combos is totally fine. And then Janemba. Boy, Janemba's crazy. Is it in terms of Bootanks? It's a tough call. He can do so much in one turn. I'll put it in Z tier as well. I think that's how I'm gonna deal. I think that's it, man. I think he can play the longer game a lot better than Bootanks for sure. The rest down ability is so good to keep your opponents unawakened. I really like it. And it's got some really cool tech as well. Mix a lot of the yellow leaders together. I can see it being S though, if that's what you prefer. But I kind of like it in Z. And yeah, I'm going to keep it like that. That's my tier list. This whole A-B section, you can really just switch around some stuff. But yeah, that's my tier list right there. I hope you guys did enjoy. As you can see, it is pretty well-rounded, this whole set, which is amazing. I love that about this game. You can play Gogeta, Vegeta, Frieza, any of these A characters, and maybe some of the B characters that actually still perform really well in your tournaments, in your locals, which is absolutely fire. I would love to see like Bardock win again. Just for some nostalgia. But yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video as always. Until then, peace.